Phantom Sounds Production. What up, sound?
Thank you. Make sure y'all hit those juice boxes in the comments, y'all. Searching for something. And if you are on the show, hit that plus button. What do I do with my damn? If you are on the show, hit that plus sign, y'all. Get up in now. Juice boxes in the comments. Juice boxes, y'all. So is your mama. If you were on the show, that's what's time. Circle to star up top so you do not miss the rest of the show. Hello, y'all, and welcome to the Red Room Talk. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Jen. The Red Room Talk is a show about love, intimacy, and interpersonal relationships, including self, to erase different social stigmas. We are here to have candid discussions and cut through stigmas to show that in the end, no matter who you are and where you are from, we all have commonalities when it comes to matter of the minds and the heart. Nothing is off the table in the Red Room Talk. Last episode, if you missed us, that's okay. You can find us on YouTube by clicking that little link in my profile and subscribing. Last episode, we talked about relationship barriers, but this week we're going to discuss love with this week's topic, relationship boundaries. How to have boundaries and maintain a healthy relationship. We have an all-star cast this week, y'all. We have we have Juancho Number, we have Top Badge Ari, and we have Queen. So make sure you guys hit that plus sign, and I will let you guys in the box. First things first, I'm going to let you guys in the box so you can introduce yourselves and let me know what you guys have going on. Go ahead and hit that plus sign, and we will get started. I might need someone to jump in because I don't see her. Hold on, y'all.
T-Way on the way. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up?
What up? What up?
What up, Macho?
What's going on, G Wade?
We're waiting on 2 more people, y'all, and then we'll go ahead and get started because, as always, we let ladies go first. So we'll go ahead and let the ladies get in the box. We have Ari here. I'm waiting on Queen.
What up, Ari?
Hello. How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
It is a pleasure to have you all here. I'm so grateful for you all. While we're waiting for Queen, I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself. Ari will go around and introduce you guys, and then we'll wait for her to get in the box, and we'll let her introduce herself if she shows. So, but if not, we might have an extra spot. So if any of you are willing to jump in, if need be, you can request the box, and if I need you, I'll grab you. If not, and she comes, then I won't. So go ahead, Ari, introduce yourself and let us know what you got going on in your life.
Hey y'all, it's Ari Ayana. You guys can catch me streaming throughout the day, mainly at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also have a show that I do every 2 weeks on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, anonymously Ari, with my co-host King of Diamonds. I'm also the executive Chef Wars house judge for Rex's Top Badge every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also catch me in King of Diamonds Live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Getting Lit. So if you can't find me, I don't know why.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Juancho.
I'm Juancho Number. You can find me every Saturday for the feature show Poured On Juancho at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also find me at Friday at 8 p.m. with Top Bass Gin and Juice and her live for the PJ Fave party. Other than that, you can catch me throughout the week, 7 a.m. to whenever.
And of course, it's your co-host, G-Way. No wait. Y'all can catch me every night, almost about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got a lot going on the app. Most popularly known for my show on Mondays, Hood Feud. We in season 2. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all can catch me here every Saturday as well. I'm also with King of Diamonds on the Getting Lit on Thursdays. Some going on every week. Hit the button, fave me, I'll fave you back. Follow me on IG, I'll follow you back. Check the story because the story don't stop going.
What she? Saturday. She says Saturday. That's what you gotta say it right. Let me see who we got in the box. I don't think they are showing. So, oh, looky there. We got a chair. This is a nice chair.
I was moving some stuff around. I just wanted to make sure I was set up just in case. I still need to move some stuff around, but I'm here. Shout out to the room. Y'all just give me a second. I'm trying to transition to make sure I'm ready for you, Jen. But I'm here. I got you.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and introduce myself, and I guess while we're waiting. I am your host, Jen and Juice. You can find me here every what? Can I hear it? Every Saturday. 10 p.m. Eastern. He's like, nope. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Red Room Talk, y'all. You can also find me every Tuesday for Cut the Beat with also my co-host, G-Way. If you don't find me Tuesday, you can find me Thursday. You can find me Thursday. You can find me Thursday on Getting Lit. I am a judge, and I also do all the graphics for Getting Lit Studios Productions. Also, every Friday, I do a PJ Fave party, so make sure y'all pull up every Friday. And if you don't find me then, well, you're not looking very hard, okay? So make sure you guys hit me with the favorite if you haven't already. Also, go follow my Instagram, and then please go subscribe to my YouTube so we can start getting that thing rolling out there, okay? We'll go ahead and wait for Rexus, I guess, for a moment.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like I said, I was cooking and everything, so yeah, I had to change some stuff up. I'm here.
Well, let us know about yourself, what you got going on in your live, about your featured show or any events you have going up.
Yeah, my name is Rexus. I am the host of Executive Chef Wars. It goes down every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to the house judge in the building, Bricks First Lady, aka Ari. Like I said, if I'm not live, if you don't catch me on Tuesday, you can usually catch me from 7 p.m. To 11 p.m. Standard Time. Or catch me on Anonymously Ari at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Shout out to King of Diamond on Thursdays.
All right. Well, this week we are talking about relationship boundaries and how important boundaries are to have in a relationship, and some tips to help you have a healthy relationship going forward if you have a relationship, or to talk about past relationships you've been in and maybe how that could have, you could have negated from having those relationship boundaries crossed. So many of us did not grow up in a household with boundaries. Children are often asked to betray their own needs in order to please their parents or other authority figures. Perhaps you could never say no to your parents, or perhaps your parents will guilt trip you into doing things you didn't want to do. If you did have boundaries, maybe they weren't respected or you were made to feel bad about having them. Boundaries are a learned behavior. So if we were taught from a young age to ignore our own sense of self in order to please another person, that's what we'll do as adults. You might ask yourself, why do I struggle to maintain boundaries in a relationship? Learning how to set healthy boundaries in a relationship can be especially difficult. With friends and family members, it's a bit easier to say no to that dinner invite or game night than it is with your partner. Taking time and space for yourself in a relationship can be more difficult since you and your partner's lives are so intertwined. We also receive messages from society that glamorizes poor boundaries in relationships. How many times have you heard someone say something like, your partner is your other half? Your partner completes you. You should be willing to do anything for love. These sayings promote an unbalanced view of relationships in which one person's sense of self is dependent on the other. The dynamic is generally unsustainable. As we'll learn in just a little bit, staying true to your own needs is an essential part of maintaining a long-lasting relationship. So my first question is, at what point in the relationship should you start setting clear boundaries with your partner? A, initial meeting, B, first 3 months, or C, in a committed relationship, and why? Go ahead, Ari.
Um, I want to say in the beginning, first conversation, I'm setting boundaries because I'm not the type of person you can play with. My time to me is very valuable. So I'm letting you know off gate. If you coming at me a certain type of way, I'm letting you know what it is. There's no room for error or games to be played.
On that respect, big two, it's like, hi, my name is Rex's. By the way, this is where we're at. Like, look, I've done a lot, I've accomplished a lot. I'm 38 years old. I'm not here for anything less. Like, I don't. If that's what you want, kudos to you. Tonight is not your night. Go him right there. Look, that mother hungry. Go talk to him. It's not your night. Like at this point in time, I think it's all about being serious. Like where I think a lot of us need to be past the I'm looking for myself or I'm searching. Like we're past that. At this point in time, everybody should be growing. I think it's more important that the part of boundaries is you set the pace of what you're doing currently in your life. Because I don't think anybody should have to slow down their life for anybody else. If you're meant to be in that person's life, you should be able to keep up. It's like a race. You don't have to be in front or in back, but you should be able to keep pace.
Well said.
I agree. I definitely say you have to. It has to be said in the beginning. Put those cards on the table. When you leave, gray areas. I feel like you're leaving, room for failure. You know, you gotta give that person the option to know whether or not they want to deal with you or not deal with you, and vice versa.
Yeah, I feel the
How many
same
needs
way.
are
I
there?
agree with the panel.
You gotta make some enough for all of us, okay?
Right.
I agree with the panel as well. In reference to what they're saying, and I'm gonna need a plate. Um, yeah. At the end of the day, for me, I'd rather just lay everything out on the line. That way, you know what's going on. I know what's going on. That way, it'll never be a surprise, or I ain't got to hear a I didn't know. Like if I'm feeling you to the point where we being intimate, then yeah, I need to know what's going on. I need to know really what's going on. Like, tell me what's really the real deal. Don't let me find things out like that because you're killing yourself and you're wasting my time at the end of the day.
Sorry.
I just want to add something.
Sure.
G-Way, I love what you just said. And when he says an intimate moment, it's more so of an intimate conversation, adult conversation,
Right. That's what I meant. Thank you for
maturity.
clearing it up.
So I like the way you said that. I just had to, because some people get it mixed up.
I'm like Rex's. I'm too grown for games
So,
at this point.
so
Yeah.
okay. I would say initial meeting, but this is what I'm gonna say about that. If I come in, right, and we're just meeting, I'm like, first of all, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna do this. And I feel like I have to have somewhat of a rapport with you. I feel like I have to have somewhat of a connection with you before I start laying out. And I think until like you might tote the line, like you're really close to a boundary, or like we have discussions that I really wouldn't have to exactly tell you because we've discussed what I expect. Do you get what I'm saying? Without having to tell you, like, if you do this, this is going to happen. Or if you don't do this, this is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm kind of torn between like the initial meeting and the first 3 months, because I feel like if I come in just like barking these expectations, I feel like that almost would scare off the person. But if it scares you off, then you obviously ain't gonna respect my boundaries anyway. Go ahead, Rex.
I want to scare you off. I want to scare you
All
off.
right,
So go.
right. Here's my thing. If we can just knock out a whole lot of things on the first date, and I don't have to take you out on the second date or see you again, I can invest that time and opportunity into somebody else. Can we just go ahead and cut it on the first one? It's okay. We grown. I don't like you. You don't like me. Bye. Why?
Right.
Why do we have to draw this out? I think a lot of times the immaturity comes into drawing out. I just want to see what's possible. We are grown adults. The first time you meet, so if you're sitting in front of their face and you just, it's like this gurgling feeling in my gut. I don't like it. We're grown. We know what those warning signs are. Why are you wasting your time? If you want to ask investigative questions during that time, ask. If you're not willing to ask, bye.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that's true. Maybe it's the way that I like, maybe it's, I'm looking at it from like the wrong angle. Like, I'm not going to come and be like, okay, well, listen, I have this boundary, so don't cross it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to come in. So maybe just discussing the things that I know, you know what I'm saying, are things like, listen, I expect this from you, and I expect this from you, and I expect this from you. Not saying I'm expecting like things, but certain behaviors that I know that I won't deal with. Those are things, but it's like maybe just the way that you go about it, and setting expectations for yourself instead of like, don't cross this, or you know what I'm saying, or this is going to be the repercussion. I feel like you're almost coming in a negative way. Do you see what I'm saying? In my
I
mind.
like that. I do like that. And honestly, I respect that wholeheartedly. And here's the way that I thought about that. Every man is a king, every queen is a queen. That does not mean that you're my queen. That does not mean that I'm your king. So it's my job as king of my castle to tell you what I want in my castle. You don't have to be the person sitting next to me because the chair is only made for one. If that don't fit you, that's not your chair. It's okay.
Right.
So here's what I've learned in dating and getting to know people. When you are real upfront and you put your expectations up front, it cuts out a lot of BS. It saves a lot of time. And time is very precious. So if you lay out on the line what you want and what you expect out of, and this is the problem, just go into it speaking generally. This is what I want from a relationship, or this is what I expect from a person.
Right.
And you're not willing to give it to me, or you're not understanding what I'm saying, then that cuts out time for me wasting my time, your time, and our time. And I'd rather do that versus trying to figure each other out
Right.
later on down the road.
Like, well,
And I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot different if you're like demanding and you know delegating certain things as opposed to having an actual conversation. I heard maturity
Right.
said several times, and that's the key point: a mature
Right.
conversation about those things.
Right. And like my mom just said, she said a simple conversation, that's all that's needed. You don't have to bark orders. And that's kind of what I think of when I like, look, this is my boundary. So if you cross it, but no, what I'm thinking is like just a conversation. This is what I expect out of a relationship. This is what I want in a relationship. And I think by just having a conversation, you kind of lay out your boundaries without having to say
Right.
this is a boundary. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you
Mhm.
kind of just take it like this is a boundary. But you also, once you're in a relationship and there might be a time, don't hold those moments in, don't hold those things in. Once a boundary is being upset, then you have to have that conversation right then and there.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question. I was like, okay, so we've laid out the expectations. You've crossed that line. I done told you, don't say that ever, ever, ever. And today, because you want to be vindictive, you want to say that word. You want to do that, you want to do that deed. So what happens when that line is crossed? Because you've laid out the expectations. What's fair?
I think a conversation definitely hey, I told you this is something that, you know, makes me feel some type of way or it triggers some type of nerve. If it happens again, I'm out.
Yeah.
Ain't no 3 strikes. It's just 2.
Two.
Just
Ain't
2.
three nothing.
I'm with two.
Fool me once.
I'm with
With
two.
2.
Respect my boundary. That means you don't get 3. That's you
Right.
respect mine, I give you 2. Because you
Right.
should never cross it the first time.
True. Well, but sometimes people, I will say, I give you a chance, maybe even 2, because sometimes, especially in a new relationship, now if it's something that's a non-negotiable, that's different. If it's something that's a non-negotiable, that's different. Because I'm gonna let you know what my non-negotiables are before we even begin. But let's not get too far ahead because we're gonna talk about that. Right.
Oh,
That's true. Once might be a mistake, twice is on purpose. So
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about that. But if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. We do have so much more to talk about, y'all. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m.
Saturday.
Eastern Standard Time on the Red Room Talk. We
I
just
can't say
discussed
that
at
word.
what point in the relationship, Big Jet, should you start setting clear boundaries with your
Saturday.
partner.
I can't say that.
So know the difference between compromise versus unhealthy boundaries. Does this mean you should never put your partner's needs above your own? Of course not. Relationships rely on a willingness to compromise from both partners. The difference between compromising and breaking your boundaries boils down to the why behind your actions. Let's say that you decide not to go to a baseball game with a friend because you want to spend quality time with your wife. This would not be breaking your boundaries if you decided that spending time with your wife is more important than going to the game. This would be breaking your boundaries if you feel guilty for going to the game or you only choose to spend time with your wife because you are fearful of the consequences for not doing so. Do you see the difference between the two? Examining your motivation and your emotions surrounding the decisions that you make in a relationship is important. It can help you separate your own feelings from your partner's. Doing this will help you become more attuned to your own feelings and aware of when your boundaries are being crossed. I want to know about your experience, right? Oh. Okay. Hold on.
Scared the crap out of me when you said our experience.
Right. Like what wait.
Like what?
Hold on now.
Oh, was there ever a time that your partner did not respect your boundaries and what was the outcome?
I'll take that one. So here's my thing. I believe in open communication. I do. Look, let's talk about it. If you mad, you mad. But I do also believe in respect of space. So when I tell you, hey, let's take a break. This is hot right now. Let's take a break. And I go into the other room, respecting my boundaries is like, can we please take this quick break? I'm not saying we're done for the night because I want to solve this because you know what I mean. tonight's tonight. Like there's always time. I want to solve this, but right now in this moment, I want to take a break. Please don't follow me to the other room and continue that conversation down the hallway. A break just simply means I need 10, 15 minutes. Let me think about what we're talking about. Let me receive what you're telling me so I can come back again. So for me, that would be one of my boundaries. Like, can you respect my personal space? Because we living together. I'm not walking out that front door, and neither are you. We need to talk about this. But can we go to different rooms for just a second? Just a second. Just a second.
I feel you that. I feel you that.
How old are
Definitely
you?
feel you
Never
that.
mind. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, G-Way, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
about to
okay. Oh,
engage.
okay. Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, I agree with that completely, and that's pretty much the gist of mine. It's like, yo, if I need some space, like, I need some space. Like, let me breathe. Give me a minute. Hold on. Like, if it's Sunday, you already know what's going on. That's not the time to let's talk about the relationship and feelings and stuff. I'm sorry. I'm here, but I ain't here. And I'm gonna let that know from the jump. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, pretty much, I agree with Rex. It's 110%. That's why I had to chime in. Definitely, that was mine.
Yeah, I agree too, because I feel like when you're in a sense of heightened emotions, you can, think wild things to be said. You know what I mean? Things can happen, and you need that time, like you said, like 15-minute break, whatever works for you as a couple. That a lot of time you need to, sometimes take a step away from each other to be like, okay, hey, I can now things are calmed down. Now I can actually hear what you're saying and receive what you're saying.
Jen, can
Right.
you repeat the question? I'm sorry, for me one more time.
Okay, was there ever a time that your partner did not respect your boundaries, and what was the outcome?
There was plenty of times, and in that sense, I do agree with Rex's. I'm an introvert, and I have a bad attitude. So whenever I'm angry, upset, or mad, I just want my space. I need time to recollect myself and think about what's actually being done, what was actually said, and how to react. Because if I don't get my space, baby, we done. We definitely done. It's the peace sign. The peace sign done. Not done, but the peace sign done.
So there was definitely plenty of times that my partner didn't respect my boundaries, but I'm gonna be honest. I probably took a lax approach in setting them. But once they were set and they were the boundaries were crossed, I think sometimes I don't think it's always the fault of the other person or look at it as a fault, because I feel like we're all imperfect people. Unless it's one of those non-negotiables, like I said, and it's not intentional or it's not with ill intent. And I think sometimes it just happens, you know what I'm saying? Because there's times when your emotions are high, So I feel like if it's a continuous, if it becomes a habit, and it's not and it's intentional at that point, because once it becomes a habit, it's intentional. But I also have to have instant action to set those boundaries, instant actions once the boundary is crossed, to set a boundary for my boundaries. You get what I'm saying? Once you've crossed it, now I have to be like, okay, look, we got to revisit and we got to have a discussion, because look, you've already crossed a boundary that I've already set. So now what? But in that instance, honestly, I was in an ugly relationship. So those things, the boundaries that were crossed, I allowed it. And so when they were crossed, I kind of just eventually just gave up. I just gave up. They were crossed so often, I don't even remember what they were anymore. I don't think I had any at that point. Like, there were so many that were crossed. It was just kind of like, okay, this is just a normal, I want to know what Rexus is cooking. That's funny.
It's not my
Um,
question. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. Look, I'm over here pondering what I'm listening to you.
but I think for me that it taught me when I go into my new relationships to make sure that I set clear boundaries from the gate, or at least once we get to that connection point where I know I even want to continue pursuing you. I feel like once it's at that point where I'm like, okay, I got something here. So now we have to have this discussion before we move forward. And if
So
you don't do that, you're gonna run into trouble. And then at
so
that
here's
point,
my
because you didn't set clear boundaries, now there has to be a discussion. Because, okay, like, look, I know we kind of messed up. We didn't start this out on the right foot, but we got to have this discussion now that we are deciding that we're going to, first of all, be monogamous and into a relationship. Because I'm not going to waste my time, I'm sorry, but giving anyone boundaries if you're just a fling, okay? Because I don't want to know nothing about you at all at that point, okay? I don't even want to have a discussion. Either shut up
That's
and then
and
go
I
home.
and I feel like that's why it's so important to set boundaries from the beginning, because all of us know as human beings what we want. Like, let's be for real. Like, we all know what we truly want. So that's why it's very
Mhm.
important from the gate to mention to somebody else what we want. And then Mer, to respond to your comment, do we really know? We do, but we allow certain people in certain situations to distract us and navigate us to a whole nother direction, and now we're confused. But loud.
I think
Right.
Here,
a lot of
here's my
times
thing, Jen,
it's
for
out
what
of
you said
fear.
though, is
I think
that love, I think that word, that nice little simple word, I think a lot of times we get that confused. We get it confused with lust, temptation, desirability, necessity. I think a lot of times we don't understand what that word means, because love means that you don't do anything intentionally to cause me any harm. Love means that I can legitimately fall off a mountain and I know that you will be there
because
to catch me
hurting
at your
them
best
should hurt
ability.
you.
Right, exactly.
Hurting
Facts.
them should hurt you.
Right.
If you really
Correct.
truly love a person, the difference between
I
love
wouldn't
and
do
lust,
that, then you're
lust,
not in
you really
love.
don't have much regard for that person outside of what you feel about their body or how they make you feel. You don't really think about their feelings, and I'm gonna go to that point too. So for someone like me, right, back into the dating world, I've been single, was single for 8 years, and then getting back into the dating scene, I found myself um kind of like out of it because I didn't, after being by myself for so long, I didn't realize how much I became selfish because I was never selfish before that. And not in a bad way, but I became that way because I've been by myself for 6 years. I didn't have to have any regard for anybody else because I've been alone
It's
for so long. So then
great.
getting into new relationships and dating, I realized that I had to also look deep within myself because there were boundaries that I would also cross because I didn't I wasn't used to being in a relationship. Do you feed it? Do I have to walk it?
And
These
and
are
it's
all new things.
I'm so glad you said that, Jim, because this is something I brought up earlier. This is why it's so important. The person that you are interested in, it's so important that you guys build a friendship before anything. So you guys truly understand each other's ugly and each other's good before you
Facts.
just jump into a relationship. Please build a friendship first.
Jen, I was in a marriage with I had my son with my ex-wife and we had her step and we were married for I think 5 years. The moment that the relationship didn't work out, unfortunately, not some women cheat. It is what it is. Um, but it took me a while to find my own happiness. Are you aware that the best time of my days whenever I found my own self-happiness, I understood how
Oh
to
yeah.
validate myself. I had to learn that it's not my job to make you feel happy. You should already feel happy. I should already feel happy. We're starting off at 100 miles per hour already. At this point in time, let's go to 200 because now we're combining our 100 and 100. I don't, it's not my
I
job
think
to make you happy. You already be happy. We're grown.
yeah,
How do you make yourself happy? That can't be me. That's not my job.
right.
Say
And
that
I
again
think
for the
for
people in the
me,
back.
In the
and I
bag.
think for me, because I've been alone for so long, I kind of developed, like I said, it was like a sense of selfishness because I didn't have to have regard for other people. I had gotten this comfortable. I was at a place of peace. I'll say that. So going into new relationship, I realized that you got to let someone disrupt your peace, and it does not in a bad way, even allowing someone in, but it's a disruption of your peace because now I have to have regard for you, and if they have children, I have to have regard for their children. So there's a lot that goes along with, especially a new relationship and setting boundaries. You are, for me, sometimes I wouldn't because, or at least wouldn't be I won't say forthright, but really out with it, like I said, stern in the beginning, out of fear because of the relationship I had previously.
Start off as
But Jen, if
friends.
your
Start
walls
off
are
as
5
friends.
miles thick and somebody managed to make it through
Oh, yeah.
5 miles of landmines and bullets and treacherous glass, and they managed to make it to your door, isn't the fun part of this? Man, you made it past all that. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Because the inner walls are even dangerous. Come on, come on up in. Let's see what you got. But isn't that because at that point in time, you control the navigation of that relationship. They chose like, hey, look, if I want to talk to you, I have to get through those 20 miles, 40 miles of landmines and bullets. Once I get to this door, at this point in time, now it's up to you to decide where you want this to go. Once again, it's still your relationship. Just like it's my decision to be like, I need you to go left down this road. I don't like that road. Okay, I'm out. It's a decision that we both need to decide on. If we all make it down the exact same path, and that person was meant for you. If they don't make it, somebody's in the minefield. Good luck to the minefield. We'll see if you make it.
No, that's true.
Very true. And I'm going to be honest. I'm at this place in my life where, that 8 years, right? I call it the brick wall attitude. I think I was just having this discussion actually with Tagged Your sister Lazaz on her live last night. I've had this brick wall attitude for the last 8 years, right? Because of the relationship, the abusive relationship I was in, I started putting up these bricks, right? And it's great here, right? I'm so safe. Nobody can get in. But
Safe,
the
safe.
problem with that is nobody can love me either. So when I found someone who was worthy, I had to start taking those bricks down piece by piece. But what that causes vulnerability. So that vulnerability is very scary. And so that caused me also to cross boundaries that I shouldn't have crossed because out of fear, out of insecurity that I didn't realize I had because I worked on myself for 8 years. I shouldn't have anything wrong, right? That's a long time. But sometimes you don't realize you don't use it you lose it if you don't use it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize that there were things there until I actually engaged with someone to realize there were triggers there. Do you see what I'm saying?
And that's why I said it's so important because I dealt with an abusive relationship and I've been single for a little over 2 years. I had to take that time to learn myself, learn my own triggers, what makes me happy, what makes me sad, what makes me laugh, what makes me cry. You have to really take the time to learn yourself. A lot of people go into relationships and they don't even know who they are. A lot of people don't even date themselves. They don't take themselves out on dates. They don't spend time with themselves. If you can't spend time with yourself, don't expect anybody to spend time with you. So you have to take the time to spend time with yourself and learn yourself in order for somebody to love you and understand you, because you got to know who you are. So
And
it's
listen, I'm
very
tired of
important.
myself, okay?
And I'm tired of me. So yeah, that's why
8 years is a
that's
long
why
time to deal with
that's why
myself, okay? I don't know how
so
they did it.
that's why it's important. That's why it's important for you to find start off as friends. Period. You have to start off as friends.
Any of you guys who are requesting the box, please wait till the end of the show. I will allow any of you guys in the box if you want to have a rebuttal, but please, if you have something to say it in the comments, y'all. We will make sure that we try to also include you guys because you guys are a part of the show. Without y'all, there would be no show. But yeah, for me, like I said, 8 years was a long time. I'm like, girl, I love me. Okay, I look in the mirror every day. Girl, you look good, So, but in that 8 years, you don't realize how far removed you are from the relationship world. And especially dating is different now for me. Okay. Y'all don't even ask women out on dates. Y'all want to link up and hook up. I don't even know which one means what anymore. Okay. Is that sex? Is that, you mean like link? We making a chain? I don't know what y'all mean anymore. Okay. Because look, I'm old. I'm 36 years old. Okay. I don't know what none of this means. Okay. Help me. But, anyways, if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You haven't missed much. We still have a lot more to discuss. You can find us here every Saturday on the Red Room Talk, y'all. We just discussed at what point in a relationship should you start setting clear boundaries with your partner, and was there ever a time that your partner did not respect your boundaries? Okay. So we're going to talk about how to set healthy boundaries. Oh, that's for another show. Come back on another day. How to set healthy boundaries. If you're someone who struggles to, and I'm sorry, if you're someone who struggles to set and enforce,
I'll take that too.
That's the old Red Room talk. Okay, know that you're not alone. Not in that, but it's a process that many of us struggle with on a daily basis. None of us are perfect. Some days are easier than others. Just remember that the more you do it, the more natural it'll feel. And no, we're not talking about that. Okay. So setting healthy boundary tips, also not that. First, start listening to yourself and your body. Pay close, this sounds so horrible to me right now. Pay close attention to your wants and needs. Lord have mercy. This can be something as simple as going out on a solo walk or attending a yoga session in the evening. Stay tuned into your own feelings and don't be afraid to take time or space for yourself. Don't try to suppress or feel guilty for negative emotions. Part of what makes being sad or angry extra difficult is our own habit of feeling bad for feeling bad. I'm a prisoner of that. Start to own your own feelings, even if they're negative. Not feeling bad for your own emotions will help you feel more comfortable sitting with other people's emotions, meaning you will be less likely to feel bad or responsible for your partner's feelings. Start small. Boundaries can be big or small. Often it's easier to start drawing boundaries when the stakes are low. That's that beginning stage. Say no to plans you don't want to go to. No, I don't want to come. Protect your own personal space in a public space. Starting small builds a foundation for those bigger boundaries later in your relationship, okay? Use I statements. Boundaries don't have to be stated in a rude or disrespectful way, as I thought earlier. Instead of saying something like, stop bothering me when I read, you can say something like, I would prefer to have some quiet time when I read. Do you mind giving me an hour alone? Practice stating your needs in a firm but very kind manner. Speak up when your boundaries are crossed. Boundaries are only boundaries if they are communicated, okay? Using I statements can come in handy here. I feel disrespected when you raise your voices at me. I don't feel like a priority to you when you spend all your time at work. Be more mindful of your time and energy. Take proactive steps to protect your own time and energy. Whether that means blocking off time in your work calendar to hit the gym or letting your partner know that Thursday nights are game nights with your friends. There are ways to proactively let people know about your boundaries without coming off rude. This way, you don't always have to restate your needs. So my next question is, can you describe a time that you had to establish boundaries in a relationship in order to save it?
Ari, you want to go first?
She wasn't ready. Go ahead, Rexus.
So my thing is when it comes to arguments, they're going to happen. If I don't care about you, I'm not arguing with you any daggone way. But that being said, if we need to talk about it, we need to talk about it. And it does need to be solved because that's part of my boundaries. I believe in solving the issue as quickly as possible. I don't have time to wake up tomorrow because you just want to be mad from something that we talked about yesterday. Tomorrow is not promised. Something may happen to either one of us tomorrow. So tonight when we go to bed and we're laying next to each other, I want to fix it.
It's so funny you
No?
said that because I was just thinking that for me, nipping stuff in the bud, like when it happens, is very important to me.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
have time to talk about it tomorrow. I need to talk about it now. I need you to know how I feel now. Now.
Right. Right now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
right
Right
now.
now, right
And
now.
the
Right now, right now.
the important thing of respecting somebody's boundary and speaking out loud right now is like, hey, stop. Because this is your warning. Like, hey, stop. Anything past this, tomorrow is not promised for us if you don't stop. Like, no matter how important it is, because there always comes a point you can love somebody to anything and back. My wife, we loved each other. We deployed together. We were in the desert, and my wife messed up. While we were deployed together in the same combat tree, my wife messed up.
So like for me
It's
it's
always
like
about setting your
if
boundaries,
some
but you got to
for
do it.
for me, especially if we have to sleep with each other at night, like for me, if I haven't got it off my chest yet, I'm literally laying beside you looking like this.
You awake yet? You awake yet? I'm not done.
One of the things my grandma told me always was to never go to bed mad at your loved
Bed
ones.
My
angry.
mom told me the
Never go.
same thing.
Never. So we got to talk about it now.
Because then you got to sit there in anxiety, like, oh my gosh, are we gonna make it past this? Or oh my gosh, like he's mad at me, or oh man, I really messed up. And if for me, especially if I know that I made a mistake, I'm gonna be honest. I hold really hard to making mistakes because I'm a perfectionist. Okay, let's just get that off the grip. Okay, I'm a perfectionist. I can't help it.
What?
Really?
Mind your business, okay? I know
What?
all
If you
of
don't
y'all know me enough
know,
to
now you
know.
know.
Hit Jen with the fame. Yo, look, we learned something today. It's reading rainbow. The more you know.
Oh no, you did it, y'all. Y'all don't know me like that. You don't know me like that.
No way. Not Jen.
I'm
I
just
like you
kidding.
though. I like Jen.
So what about you, Wancha? Did you have a time where someone where you set a boundary and it came down to it was either fix this or
I can't think of a
you had to
specific
set a boundary in order
instance, but
to
I'm
save it?
sure I'm sure it has happened. I can't think of a specific instance right off the bat right now, but what I will say is, like you said, after that initial talk of laying out the boundaries, when that instance happens, we don't have to talk about it right then within that minute or second, because like I said, you might need that time to de-escalate. So if I need time to de-escalate, you need time to de-escalate, I'm gonna take my time, you're gonna take your time. We're gonna reconvene at some point before we go to bed and
Before we
talk
go
about
to bed.
the
Right.
issue, because like you said, like Ari
Okay.
said, we're gonna be sitting there I'm gonna be laying in bed, not tossing and turning and everything else, and you're gonna be like, what's he thinking about? What are you
Facts.
thinking about?
I don't
And I'm
care if
gonna lay
we
there
ain't in
probably
the same
crying.
bed. I don't care if we ain't in the same bed. You
Let them
better
know,
call me.
G-Way.
I don't care. I'm on the road. Call my phone. I don't want to. You don't know what the heck gonna happen. You might not wake up tomorrow. I need to know. Period. Beep, ding, 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 Rexes.
See, for
Hey,
me,
wait.
go
You
ahead.
know, I understand you. Wait, you're on the road, so I understand. I understand. But if you home for the weekend and you mess up on a Friday,
Oh, I
and you
wish.
got on a Monday,
I wish a MF would. That,
same
like you
bed.
said
Looky here, we're not
earlier,
sleeping on the couch. The couch is
it's
comfortable for
time to
the
go.
guest. I live here, you
It's
live here. We sleep
time
in
for you to
one
go.
bed.
You gonna hit the road before I do. That's all I got to say to that. If I leave, if I come back and I've been gone weeks, and you want to argue and fight, we can do this when I leave
Because
for the next.
here's my thing for relationship boundaries. Part of being in a relationship, let's say if you made it to that point to where you're living in the same house, why are you purposefully separating yourselves from each other? When at the end of the day, the two most important people in your house, whether you have kids, dogs, pets, are the two of you, because you two actually give the energy to the house. So why would you purposefully separate the most powerful energy in the house?
Definitely. Set them
Y'all
up.
energy affect everything that goes on in this house, from the kids to each other, to the pets, to the people at work. Because when you show up at work and you're happy within your house, your energy radiates from that energy. You recharge each other.
So true.
Love is supposed to be a self recharge where you can bounce back off of each other. You shouldn't be draining from the other. If you're draining from me, you should be recharging me, and both the other way. That's 100 because I'm capable of charging you just like you're capable of charging me. Just like I'm
Yeah.
capable of you being drained and me fully recharging you with some to give.
Mm.
Big facts.
If y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You're late. You
Yes,
can find us here every
everything.
Saturday
It's
at
not
10
okay.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Red Room Talk. You have not missed it all. We just discussed at what point in the relationships you start setting clear boundaries. Was there ever a time your partner did not respect your boundaries, and then a time that you had to establish boundaries in order to save it? If y'all haven't already, please hit all these beautiful people with a favorite. And if you guys are in the comments, even after the feature drops, please stick around because we're probably going to go over a little bit, but we need all of you in the audience. Okay. We need you. Okay. We have a question coming up that I'm going to need all of you guys here in the comments to help with. Okay. So make sure you guys please stay tuned. Okay. So why setting healthy boundaries is important. When first setting boundaries, there may be some resistance from your partner. Ugh. Changing the dynamic can feel unfamiliar and perhaps uncomfortable at times. Growing pains are a completely normal part of change. Having boundaries can greatly benefit your relationship, though, in the long run. It can ensure that both you and your partner have enough time, space, and energy for each other in a relationship. Boundaries, one, allow people to show up as their best self to a relationship. They decrease resentment, decrease the incidences of fights that are triggered by weeks or months of pent-up emotions. That's why you say it right then. Allows both parties to feel fulfilled in both parts of their life, which decreases the likelihood of codependent relationships. Encourage people to take ownership of and regulate their emotions. It helps partners recharge emotionally and mentally. It promotes a more equal balance in the relationship, which helps both partners to feel valued and appreciated. And it can also increase feelings of connection and vulnerability since both partners are communicated openly and honestly about their needs. So I want you to name 3 boundary violations or deal breakers that would cause you to end the relationship immediately.
Lie. Don't lie
Cheating,
to me.
lying,
Yeah, those two is
and
definitely one or two.
neglect.
Abuse for sure.
I don't know what my
Cheating
third
for
would be.
sure.
Cheating,
Lying
lying.
is why you gotta have diabetes.
Yeah, deception.
Deception for sure.
Fakeness.
And especially because if you have to lie to your partner, you already knew you was doing something you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. So you made a clear and present decision to make the decision to either lie, cheat, whatever it was. You made a clear decision because I've already set my boundaries in the beginning of the relationship. Now you made that decision that
To
you
be fair,
knew.
No, another one
Go
for
to be
me.
ahead.
fair,
Insecure.
I
and I
knew it.
understand,
I
I mean this
knew
with
it.
wholehearted lightness. Abuse to me is not a boundary. That's not love.
Right.
What about the people that say, I lie to you to protect you?
They're lying to you to lie to
That's
you
bullshit.
again
That's
They
bullshit.
lied to
to
themselves
save
to
their
protect
own.
themselves. That's all you can say about
I
Right.
that.
don't need protection. That's the reason why I had the 5 miles of space before you got here. You barely got here yourself. I don't need protection. You're still going down the road. That's go left. You're still going left. Like, I don't need your protection.
Oh, and
Talk to me.
another deal breaker for me is insecurity. I can't stand an insecure woman. I'm sorry. I
I
can't
can't
stand that.
either.
Who that is, why they look at you like that, why they talk it. I can't stand it. I'm sorry. That's the quickest way for me to pack yo, you know what, and it's a wrap. I don't like that. Be confident in who you are and yourself. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't be worried about everybody else.
But I'm going to tell you too, though. I feel like a little bit of insecurity is going to happen. A little bit of insecurity is going to happen in your relationship because it's a new relationship. Especially you're coming into a new relationship. I feel like as long as it's not affecting my partner, like I'm stopping you from doing something, right? And I let you know that something makes me feel insecure ahead of time, because that's also a boundary, right? You're doing something that's making me feel insecure because of your actions. Do you get what I'm saying?
I feel like
It has something to do with your actions.
I feel
That's what
like
I'm saying.
there's a difference between jealousy and insecurity.
Yes.
It's normal to be jealous, but an insecurity, now you're causing problems.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a difference between jealousy and an insecurity.
Yeah, I mean, I dated someone who was so insecure. I couldn't give them a compliment because they were like, I'm just a piece of crap. I'm this, and it was just like, oh my God, I couldn't do it. Like, I can't stroke your ego all day long. It's just impossible.
Mm-mm.
Now I can lay your insecurities to rest, and I can try to help you through whatever it is that you're feeling at the moment. If you're feeling off about something, come to me. Don't ever be afraid to come to me.
You know what?
Don't ever be afraid to.
You know what?
Somebody
Don't
get
ever
it.
be
I can't
afraid
even
to.
do anything
Somebody
right
get it.
now.
Come
Like I
back
was
here,
gonna
watch
get there. I
out.
was like, I can't even do anything
Listen.
right
Trying
now.
to run away.
This is the
Get
red
back here.
room. This
You
is
So
heard
the
it
run
red
like
away.
I heard
No,
it.
bring that
This
joke back
is
in like what?
the
15
red
minutes. Bring that
room.
joke back. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
This is the
But
red
don't ever
room.
feel afraid to me if something makes you feel some type of way. And I'm not saying you're an insecure person, because people have insecurities, especially if I've let you know, like, this is something that I've always been insecure about. You know what I'm saying? And this is something but are you actively working on it? Do you see what I'm saying? There's a difference between someone who actively works on things and is working on them for a greater good of the relationship than someone who is just an insecure person altogether. Do you see what I'm saying?
So
You're
here's my
not going
thing.
to find a person. I'm sorry, you guys. You're not going to find a person that has no insecurities. You're not. And if you say you don't, you're lying. Everybody has something. Everybody has something.
It's cool to have those insecurities, but it can't be a regular thing.
Right.
Like, if your
That's why I said
insecurities
you
are to the point where, right, there you go.
My
Well said.
so I feel like, yes, it's
Right,
when
crippling.
it's crippling the relationship. Yes, we all wake
Right.
up and we like, I got a pimple on my forehead. Oh no, I can't go outside. Stuff like that's normal. I don't feel like everybody has insecurities. I just feel like it's just certain things that people are unhappy with, but it's not an insecurity. Not everybody's insecure. A lot of people are very secure in themselves. I
Okay,
feel like
so here's my thing.
what makes a person insecure is when they start dating someone and that person tries to change them or starts to question what they do or how they do it. That's what puts in their mind that something's wrong with me. Now I'm insecure.
So here's my thing. You talk about insecurities. We're going out to dinner. And I picked this beautiful dress for you to wear for us to go to dinner. And you wear that same dress. And you go into the restaurants and all the heads are turning. Everything stops. You can understand that the focus is on your significant other for the outfit that you pick for them. The insecurity at that point in time, if you pick that, you should be happy with that. But also at the same time, your significant other sensing that, then it's like, I love this outfit. That, don't you think like that's them recharging you? Is like, yeah, I understand where this might make you, but by default, I'm gonna recharge you. They don't allow you to become insecure.
Right. And
They
where I
don't
look
allow
at,
you
like, the
because they're
insecure
forthcoming.
person, to me, the insecure person would be right. Like, so say he bought this dress for you, right? And because of all those people are looking at me now because I look good, and then you start being like, oh, excuse me, this is my lady. You should just be, you should just be,
Proud.
your mom.
I'm that type
Go
of
get it,
guy.
baby. Go get it. Go get
I'm
it,
that
baby.
kind of
Hey, go to
guy,
the park. You
right?
want to go to the park? Go
I'll
get
be
a drink. Go
your
get
biggest
it, baby.
cheerleader. I
What?
will be your biggest cheerleader.
Show 'em.
Shoot, I done been out of the club and I
You should
caught a
just
dude
be
looking at the
proud that
chick I
your
was with
woman
like, oh,
looks
she
good.
bad.
I'm gonna tell you, my mom here in the comments, her man, if she's got cleavage showing or she's got her little tight pants on, or she got her heels on, and her hair's done, and she's laid right, I'm telling you, he's like Will Smith. Ta-da!
Period.
My woman look good.
Look at
You know
this.
what I'm saying?
Look at
And
it.
he'll be like,
Look at
I
it.
want people to look
Bye.
at my woman.
You
because I
see,
got her.
no,
They're
they
all looking,
look,
and I got to go home with her.
Jen, they be like,
Right.
you see my trophy? You see my trophy?
Right.
You
This is
see?
Fine.
Beautiful, ain't it? Beautiful,
You
ain't it?
should never-
Mine.
You know, but just to be proud that, you know, of your woman, like instead of the insecure person would be like, I don't like you wearing that outfit. Like now, even though you picked it out, but because
But
now
to
I'm
be
getting
fair,
looked, now you're
should that
insecure.
already have been established in the early boundaries of the
Oh, of
relationship
course. Yeah.
of what it looks like? You know if your significant other is going to bring attention or not. You
Right.
should
Right.
know if you're in
Don't
trouble
date
in your
someone who looks
relationship
good if you
while
can't
you're
handle
walking
the
through the
heat.
minefield.
Right.
That's what's going to help you walk through the
Go date
minefield.
you.
Ooh, hey,
Go
bum,
date
bum,
you
bum.
two. Go date a two who's boring then, okay? Go date a two who's boring because I'm a 10 every day. Okay.
Go get him. Go get him.
Hello.
And that's not being cocky. That's just, you should always love yourself that much that you are a 10. When any someone asks you, what do you rate yourself 1 to 10? I'm always gonna say 10 because I have to F with myself the hardest. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So in
I
your
love
partnership,
myself.
you
You don't like it?
I've always heard choose someone who thinks you're a 10 because you think you're a 10. Do you see what I'm saying? The more I love myself and the higher you elevate your partner, they're less available to other people anyway.
Exactly.
So make sure you're elevating your partner, and those insecurities would be laid to rest anyway.
Start at a
Most
10
of the
on a
time when
10 out
you
of
have
10
an
instead of
insecure
starting at a
partner,
6.
most of the time when you have an insecure partner is because they are lacking something that they're supposed to be doing in the relationship, and they're fearful of someone taking you because they know they're not treating you right.
A little
Can I get
louder.
an amen? Hallelujah. Can I get an amen? Okay.
Lurkers, did y'all hear that? Could you repeat that, please? Please, 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 please,
I
please,
wish I
please,
had a
please, please,
tambourine.
please, 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 please.
Tambourine here.
For real.
But 9 times out of 10, when there is an insecurity, it is because the partner knows they are not doing what they should be doing to elevate their partner, and they feel that someone else could come swoop them up because you're not doing the things you should be doing. So now they're in a pool full of people that this girl or this guy was already the person everyone wanted. And so
Right.
now you're messing up, and you already know you're messing up. So now you have that fear, which is insecurity, which is fear that your partner's going to astray, or they're going to, or
Put
someone
some
else is
bread
going to.
hands
But
in the
what they
comments. Put
do,
some
but
bread
what
hands in the
tends to
comments.
happen,
Yes, sir.
what tends to happen after that is they push their insecurity on you. Now
You.
you're the
Yep.
problem.
Yes.
Now
And that
you're
what,
the
what was
problem.
the word? Projecting. I have projecting. Yes. Jealous and insecure. Jealous is when, okay, so insecure is something within yourself, right? Insecure is something you feel within yourself. Jealousy is something you feel about the other person. Did I say that right?
You said it totally right.
Okay. But okay, we got to move on. If you guys are just pulling up, you're late. You're really late, like really, really late. But that's okay. You haven't missed everything. We still have a little bit more to discuss. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Red Room Talk, y'all. We just discussed at what point in the relationship should you start setting clear boundaries with your partner? Was there ever a time that your partner did not respect your boundaries? And then a time that you had to establish boundaries in a relationship to order to save it? And then 3 boundary violations that would cause to end your relationship immediately. The takeaway. While saying yes or letting things slide might feel the easier choice in the moment, as I've done several times throughout my lifetime, eventually these small concessions won't feel so small anymore. Not having boundaries can lead to resentment and repetitive fights. I know having boundaries sounds counterintuitive at times. You're saying that by putting myself first, I can actually improve my relationship. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because it's only when you feel emotionally full that you can give to your partner a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship relies on 2 individuals who stay true to themselves. They know what is ultimately beneficial for the relationship. If you have trouble maintaining boundaries in a relationship, talking with a professional can help you draw clearer boundaries and enforce them. There is no shame in getting help. Knowing how to set healthy boundaries in a relationship can be the key to a happier and healthy partnership. So my next question is, how do clear and defined boundaries within a relationship help preserve your peace and mental health? How do you think clear and defined boundaries within a relationship help preserve your peace and mental health?
So, for
I want to hear from Wancho.
oh, go ahead, Wancho.
Okay, I would say clear and define you can't have no gray area. I mean, it's just as simple as that. If you, the moment that you steer away from what that boundary is and you open that door for that boundary to be taken away, that's when you're going to start having problems. Because the other person is going to be like, oh, okay, well, it was okay this time, so I can do it next time. It was okay that time, so I can do it this time.
Right.
And it gets worse.
You have to establish those boundaries. Leave the boundaries as what they are. If they're broken, you talk about them, come to an understanding, move on. There's after that, there shouldn't be another discussion after that.
Go ahead.
I want to answer Marcus's question. So we had this conversation earlier. Marcus is just now joining. Marcus said, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? I rate myself on a scale of 10 because at this point in time, I've worked on myself as much as I can work on myself. I've worked on my flaws. I've worked on my communication. I also understand my flaws. I also understand what I'm looking for in a relationship. To me, that makes it a 10 because I know what I want. I also know what my flaws are. Walking in any relationship and not understanding yourself, how can you be the best person for somebody else if you don't even understand yourself? I believe that understanding self makes you a 10. Understanding what you need, what you desire, what you won't tolerate, and all the above makes you a 10. So I'm starting at a 10.
Ari.
Can you restate the question, Jen? I'm sorry.
How do clear and defined boundaries within a relationship help preserve your peace and mental health?
So I'm gonna make this comparison. It might make some people upset. I honestly don't care, but when you have a job, you're given responsibilities, you're given tasks, you're given benefits, you're given objectives that you must do. A relationship is the same thing. It's just two bond between two people. So again, just like a job, when you're given a job, you're given objectives, you're given responsibilities, you're given what's expected of you. It's the same thing as a relationship because we're working on something together as a unit. So
True.
that's how I look at it.
And if you don't meet those responsibilities at a job, what's going to happen? You're going to lose that job.
You're gonna get fired.
Fire.
We don't give 2 weeks notices. That was respect to the boundaries. You know what you were signing up for. Bye.
Now, I can tell you how I pay it. G-Way.
Go ahead.
How do you think?
I'm with,
G-Way, tell them about the no way.
Know it. Okay.
Tell them about the no way.
No gray. I'm with Wancho. Like I gotta solely agree with my bro Wancho. Like no gray areas. Like lay everything out there. You know what I'm saying? And for real, I agree with him 110%. I couldn't say it better myself. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like,
I think that's something that I've kind of lacked in relationships, is that gray area because of that fear of losing the relationship. But I feel like if you do something over and over that you know is going to eventually cause a breakdown in the relationship, then maybe you deserve that.
Jen, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It was an animation that I've been through a lot, but it was a stupid animation. I think I saw it on Facebook that made the most sense to actually help me understand. It was an animation of one person in a relationship holding a rope, holding on to their significant other who's about to drop off the cliff. The rest of the animation was a rope tied around the significant other that was falling off the cliff, and they had this big, ginormous boulder that was weighing them down. And it was watching rope. They showed the animation, the hands, like this person trying to hold on to it because the rope is considered a relationship of holding on because you want it, but you don't realize the weight that's on the other side. The only thing you saw was your significant other. You don't realize the weight that is pulling them down that is going to do more damage to you as you're trying to pull them up on an impossible task. That animation helped me really realize what that looks like. Because as I'm trying to save it, what am I really trying to save? If you don't understand what you're trying to save, it's not worth saving.
And that's why I think you have to go in knowing that nobody is perfect, right? That's why I said I know I have insecurities. They're not crippling. They're just things that I have that it's just something that I'm working on actively, because I have no problem. I'm in therapy. I have no problem admitting that. And I think a lot of people would benefit from that, because sometimes it takes other people to see something that maybe you're doing that can lower the possibility of you crossing your own boundaries. Things that you're doing that, like for me, I know that I'm more of a passive person at times. So I have to come out of my own comfort zone and express disdain for something that someone's doing, because I don't see, even when someone's hurting me, telling them that they're hurting me, I know is going to make them feel some type of way. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always in constant protective mode of my partner. So I don't want to tell you, because then you're going to be upset, and then, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that always would go through my mind. But I learned along the way that either I'm hurting you or I'm hurting me, and that's not fair to neither one of us.
Right.
So once you set a boundary, make sure that you try to keep to keep that boundary clear and precise.
Stand on it.
And stand on it. Because when you do like I've done in the past and you start backseating on it out of fear of losing your partner, you're killing yourself. And you're going to end up alone anyways. Because they're going to either cross a bigger boundary, one of those no way boundaries, and then it's going to be over. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all are just pulling up, though, this is the Red Room Talk, which you can find every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are in the audience, please hold your horses and sit there, because I'm going to need y'all in about 2 seconds, okay? Tonight's topic is relationship boundaries. How to have boundaries and maintain a healthy relationship, because that's ultimately what we all want. We want a healthy relationship so you can live and cohabitate in peace and love and live happily ever after. So this is my favorite part of the night. When you hear that sound, that means we are at
I
our
don't know what
hot
that was,
seat
but I volunteer Ari.
Okay. We are at our hot seat question segment, y'all. We are doing things
I don't know what that was. It
different
sounded
this season,
dangerous. I
okay?
didn't want no part of it.
We are doing things a little bit different this season. Our hot seat question is now it is now left up to the fate of the audience. I went to Instagram to ask our peers what they wanted to ask for this week's hot seat question. If you want your question to be featured on next week's episode, make sure that you go to my profile, click that icon, and follow me on Instagram, and look out for that hot seat question post. Y'all, I can't come up with the questions every week, so I'm going to need y'all to actually do it, okay? All of y'all. All 725 of y'all, okay? Now is the time. I need all of you comments to start moving, and enter in the comments who y'all want to answer the hot seat question post.
Go over to Jim and Juice and start answering this question. Who y'all want to answer this question? I know what my vote is, but you know me, y'all typing whoever y'all want. There's Jen and Juice, there's Ari, then everybody, but just type in somebody else's name.
We got Wanda, we got Rex, we got
hey,
Wanda,
Ari, there's no self-voting. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Chill. How you typing in the comments?
Oh, we
There's no
got
double vote. Ari.
We got 4 for Rex's. We got 1, 2, 3 for Ari. Come on. We got an okay, that's not fair. Y'all get in these comments and start commenting. Who do y'all want to answer tonight?
Y'all get over there and go vote for Ari. Get over there.
Well, at this point, okay, we got another one. We got 5.
Get over there.
Okay. So guess what, y'all? Okay, guess what? Okay. We got Rex's with tonight's hot seat question, okay? And he just so happened to jump in.
Go on.
I'm taking all y'all badges. As soon as this is done, we beefing. We beefing. You had one job. Come on, let's go. Bring it. What you got?
You got in the box, so you were destined for this, okay? God laid this carpet out for you to answer this question, okay? Too much, sorry.
What?
This week, Mr. Everything wrote in and asked, if your fiance presented you with a prenuptial agreement. Sorry, that was from a movie. 1 week before your wedding day, would you still marry them? Why or why not?
right before my wedding day? No.
That should have been established.
Communication is key, and so are my boundaries. I gave you my boundaries at the beginning. Open communication. Don't bring the day before the wedding. What have we been talking about? When we talked about our marriage, why did we not talk about that then?
How did we even get to this point where we are thinking about being in the altar if we haven't already discussed this?
Right.
Because I feel like
It's
at
like
that point,
it's Wednesday, and you, by the way, tonight, Tuesday,
you
while we
already
sitting
looking at it
next
as
to
a
each other.
fail.
By the way,
But
I own.
let's be for real though. Let's talk about our dating age. You have people that have known each other for a couple weeks and they hopping off and they getting married. You have people that have known each other for a couple months and they skipping off and getting married. So let's
Right.
put this generation of dating into perspective. It's a little different. We're not talking about mom and
Speak.
dad,
Let's speak in
granddaddy,
reference
It,
to
it,
grandma.
this
it
We talking
generation.
is
about
different,
like
but at some point in time, if it is today's day and age, and we're dating in today's day and age, my boundaries look differently in today's day and age. I want to talk before we're even talking. I want to know what the hell you're capable of
I agree
anyway.
with you 100%, but it happens.
I feel like, well, first of all,
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the
Hell
no.
to the no.
no, I feel like
Concur. Nope.
okay, so say we've gotten this far, right? I feel like there's some sort of deception in tow. There's a reason why you've set this trap, and why. So did you really even want to marry me, or did you set this trap from the gate?
Oh, I thought you were the ops. I thought you were disagreeing with me, and I was like,
No,
"What?
no, no,
Okay,
no,
you
no.
agree with me?
No.
Damn! Hit 10 with the fade."
Okay. But y'all, I really feel like at that point there's some sort of deception, and that's just a no-go for me. We should have already had this kind of discussion, and if you're bringing up this discussion now, why now? Are you not wanting to get married?
Right.
Is that perhaps it? And now you're bringing this out because you don't want to get married for real? So it's definitely a trap. But so in the end, build your self-esteem up. Healthy boundaries naturally come to us when we believe in the idea that we are okay just the way we are, because we really are, you guys. We don't need to change ourselves for someone else or do things for other people's approval. Building your self-esteem can include many activities, including affirmations. Remind yourself that you are okay, you are worthy, and you are whole as you are. Tonight's topic was relationship boundaries, how to have boundaries and maintain a healthy relationship. As we do every week, we come to a place of healing. I actually thought this was going to go over longer than it did. We probably would have if I wouldn't have shut us up. No, I'm just kidding. But we come to this place of healing, okay? Healing. No, I'll stop. But every week I have this quote so we can finish off with a moment of healing, because that's what we are here for, right? We're all here to talk about something, to show that, look, we all had commonalities. We've all been through stuff. We are all human. We all bleed red. So this week's quote is, I am not responsible for how people respond to my boundaries. I am responsible for setting and honoring my boundaries. If my relationships end because I set boundaries, it's a sign that the foundation was cracked. In healthy relationships, I can set boundaries without fear of retaliation, cut-offs, or manipulation.
I love that quote. Because this week for me personally has been about people who have been overstepping boundaries. And I was like, damn, am I going nuts? Like, is it me? But then honestly, I feel like every single thing that has honestly triggered me, that's gotten me like feeling a certain kind of way, has been everybody overstepping their boundaries
Oh yeah,
to where
and
you know better, but
for
you just
me,
want to try.
even just recently for me, I had let people go, and you guys know, I had let people go for so long, not setting boundaries, that I was killing myself. So I had to then take my hand back, and it's okay to snatch your hand back. It's okay to snatch your hand back and set clear boundaries when it's something that's harming you. I'm not a masochist, okay? I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to be hurt by anybody. So I made sure that, okay, like, listen, guys, on Sundays, don't call me. Don't call me unless I call you. Don't call me. Unless you know this is something we already have set up, that this is something we do or that we already have planned, that's okay. But if I have to have time and space for myself, because especially on this kind of platform and this kind of app, it can be very draining to people like me who are empaths. I feed off of people's energy. I take on people's energy. So make sure you guys please set clear and present boundaries, not only for yourself but in your relationships, because when you go into a relationship, you want to have a healthy relationship and know what that's like. But y'all, this was the Red Room Talk. You can find us every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank all of you guys, especially you, Rexes. Thank you for jumping in last minute. I definitely appreciate the hell out of you for it. And yes, I said hell.
And look, shout out to the room.
The
I'm
box
so
is
so
gone.
sorry. I did not look. Look. If you need me, I'm always here, hun. Like it was like, hey, look, I got it. I got it. I got it. So look, I'm happy to be
I
here.
definitely
Appreciate you
appreciate
for
you.
doing that. For real, for real.
So what we do at the end is I'm gonna let you guys give your outros, let me know about what you guys got going on in the app. So everybody, and please, everybody here in the comments, make sure you fave these beautiful people and those top 3 bubbles, because every episode, those top 3 bubbles, the top 3 gifters at the end, they get a graphic made by me. So those top 3 gifters tonight at the end, after I play the outro music, after they give their outros, at the end of the show, those top three gifters will be getting a graphic. Okay, so go ahead, Ari, because you are the only lady aside from myself. Go ahead and let us know what you got going on, girl.
Hey y'all,
I
it's
know about
Ari
that word.
Ayana. You guys could catch me every 2 Wednesdays in my live for Anonymously Ari every 2 Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can also catch me in Rex's live, Executive Chef Wars, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and you guys can also catch me and Getting Lit every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Jen, again.
Of course, and I'm gonna have y'all on again, just so you know.
Period.
Anyway,
And I'll be here.
Yeah. Me too.
go ahead, Rex.
What's up, y'all? My name is Rexus. I host Executive Chef Wars every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We give them 3 ingredients and they cook off live for 1 hour. Shout out to the house judge in the building, Brick First Lady, aka. All right. Thank you, love. If you don't catch me on Tuesdays, we got Hood Wars. We got Hood Wars on Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come in there. We're doing everything that we can't do on feature shows. Shout out to that. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do that every 2 weeks. If not, catch me on Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Anonymously Ari and King of Diamonds on Thursdays. We here.
All right, I want your number. You can catch me every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Fave PJ Party with Top Bag Gin and Juice. You can also catch me on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my feature show, Pour It On with One Show. Y'all bring the paint. Let's go.
That's your- And of course, if you don't know me, you can get to know me. It's your boy G-Way. You can catch me every Saturday. Red Room Talk at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard
Show
Time. You can
off.
also catch me on Sundays. Because it took me a while to learn it. Don't be mad. It took me a while. It
I,
took me a
I don't think
while
I'll
to
ever
learn
get
it.
that one.
She was on it.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sarray,
yeah.
look.
Serre, 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 serre.
Rock is down.
Also,
Y'all
also, y'all catch
nasty.
me
I'm
on
coming over. Like, where
Sundays.
y'all at? I'll see y'all. See y'all soon. Y'all nasty. I like y'all.
Saturday. Anyway, the rolling is
Sarray.
going to keep rolling.
The roll of the
Anyway,
R.
so yeah,
Roll
Sundays we got
that
the
R.
game showing in my live from 1 to 7. We got the NFL game showing. So if you're at work in traffic, can't watch the games, we got the games on in my live on Sundays. Mondays we got Hood Feud, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We on season 2. I think this is gonna be episode 30, so I'm actually excited for that. Tuesdays, I really ain't got nothing going on Tuesdays right now.
Yes,
Got
you
some stuff
do.
in the
Let
works.
the beat mother.
Well, we can say it now. We got Tuesday. I can't even say it like you said that shit. It's gonna take a while. Okay, yeah, we got Cut the Beat with me and Gin and Juice at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesdays, I got Wild Out Wednesdays, but I got something new coming out for Wednesdays at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and announce it now. I got a new show coming out called Zodiac Wars. So that's coming out first Wednesday of 2023. So make sure y'all pull up. Gin and Juice did do the graphics for that. It is going to be absolutely dope. I'm excited about it. And you can catch me with King of Diamonds on Thursdays and Fridays in my live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hit me with the fave. Lot going on. I need definitely to get Ari and Rex's on my show as well. So catch
And I'm gonna go in and gotta get in and gotta get in and gotta get. Okay, no. I am your host, Jen and Juice. You can find me every what? Every Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday at 10 p.m.
Saturday.
Saturday. Marcus, darling.
I'm gonna do
Saturday
this the fade
at 10
and
p.m.
send you a
Eastern
high.
Standard
Hold
Time
on.
on the Red Room Talk. And of course, every Tuesday with G-Way at 10 p.m. Cut the Beat. Every Thursday with I know you lying. Every Thursday with King of Diamonds
Send you
on
a
Get
high
Lit.
too.
Okay, every Friday with Wancho Number at 8 p.m. I'll kick your ass. And every Saturday, of course, here. But late nights and early mornings. But I am going to be switching my schedule, y'all. So for anyone who is still in here, I'm going to start streaming more during the day than at night. Because I'm tired, y'all. Okay. That's my boundary right now. Okay. I'm tired. Okay. So make sure y'all tap in. I will try to get a schedule out to you guys as soon as I have it kind of cemented in for myself. I will start posting a schedule for myself so you all know when to find me. Okay. But this has been the Red Room Talk, and I definitely am all about, you know, uh, just I really thank you all for being here, and especially like I said, Rexus, thank you for coming in and popping in. It's always a joy. I'd be having whole hours of conversations with you and Ari. So, and definitely Wancho and G-Way, I appreciate the hell out of y'all. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro music, and by the end of that outro music, whoever those top three are, y'all get a graphic, okay?
I'm in on all my devices.
All my hope. Break it down. What is that?
What up, sound?
I ain't never seen that.
Aquano Sounds Production. What up, sound?